This is Ireland, a place I am proud to call home. It's a country full of history and charm, of wonder and splendour. With an ever-changing landscape, from the Kerry Mountains to the bustling urban streets, whatever brings you to Ireland, one thing's for sure. It will leave an impression that will last a lifetime. I'm James Nesbitt, and I'm on a journey to find the people and places that make Ireland such an exceptional country to live in and to visit.
My name is Jimmy Blarney. I'll be your skipper for today.
Oh, hello.
So come and join me on my travels, and we'll uncover Ireland's hidden treasures together. There are places I can't wait to show you on a journey you just won't want to miss. Ireland is a place of mythology and legend, of folklore and fable. Now, we've all heard stories about leprechauns and crocks of gold, but it's true that Ireland is proud of its spiritual and mystical heritage. So when people talk about it being magical, I know exactly what they mean, as do the millions of visitors that come here every year. This week, it's all about the people and places at the heart of Ireland's heritage. Whether it's celebrating the Irish passion for music, or visiting a special corner of Ireland that's close to my heart.
Oh, don't ask me about Jimmy. Jimmy is a clown.
And I'll show you there's more to Blarney Castle than just kissing the stone. How's that?
That's good.
I am giving up acting. Ireland is famous for its castles, proud badges of our nation's heritage.
Through the archway there, up the stairs, and enjoy every moment of it.
But there's one in particular that draws more visitors than any other. I've grown up hearing lots about the legend of Blarney Castle, but this will be my first visit. There's been a castle here in this little village just outside of Cork for over 900 years. The current fortress is the third one constructed on this site, a mere youngster built over 600 years ago. The word Blarney was introduced into the English language by Queen Elizabeth I and is forever associated with the world-famous stone, which is set in the wall below the battlements. According to Irish folklore, anyone who kisses the stone receives the ability to speak with eloquence, or the gift of the gab.
2 bars for me. That's it. Now you're just going to slide down. Keep going, kiss. There you go, perfect. Well done, have a good day.
But there's more to the story of this place than the stone, like this magnificent house. So first of all, I'm going to introduce myself to the man whose home this is, Sir Charles Colthurst. Charles, pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much for welcoming me to your home.
You're very welcome.
Lord of everything you
You're
survived.
very welcome indeed.
This is Blarney House. Castle's just over there. But for you, it's Blarney Home. This is where you live.
Yes, yes. Home and work.
So when did it become a business?
There's a record in the 1930s that my great-uncle was offered $500,000 by the Americans to rent the stone for 6 months to take it around the United States. Yes.
To remove the stone?
But he said no. And when he died in 1951, there was probably a couple of thousand people walking through a field, probably with a couple of ponies and cattle, etc. And it really didn't start taking off until the late 1960s.
So for you now, living here, I mean, there's people kind of impinging on your land, is that?
It's a great privilege to be what I regard myself as a caretaker for my life of a place like this, really on behalf of the Irish people.
Oh, good. Well, fantastic. Once again, thank you very much indeed.
It's a great pleasure, James. Great pleasure.
The castle and its grounds are a mystical place, dotted with ancient ruins. There are several natural rock formations within the gardens with spiritual names such as the Witch's Cave and the Wishing Steps. But it's the Poison Garden, which sits right at the foot of the castle, that I'm keen to take a closer look at. It houses some of the most toxic plants on the planet, including deadly nightshade, traditionally used in poison arrows, and ricin. A dose of this, as small as a few grains of salt, can kill you. Seems a strange thing to have in a tourist attraction. I'm hoping head gardener Adam will be able to explain why. So we are right in the midst here of a poison garden.
Well, you might think it sounds strange, but I mean, originally medieval gardens would have had something similar, and they would have been termed a physic garden. And it's quite likely that a place such as Blarney Castle would have had something along these lines, and they'd have been grown by the supposed witches and wizards of the day,
right,
who would have had that knowledge.
Now I know why the garden's here, it's time for me to get my hands on one of its most poisonous residents.
This is Rus toxicodendron. Now that's American poison ivy. Now the problem with this plant is that it can actually cause rashes and burning and blistering from contact.
Right.
But about 15% of people don't react to it at all.
Okay.
So you could be lucky.
Yeah, there's no chance of me being in the 15%, I can tell you that for nothing. So what are you suggesting?
Now what I'm suggesting that we could maybe do is have you help me prune it.
Sure. Okay.
I've got a couple of extra gloves and some secateurs. I also have this fleece, which I suggest you put on just simply because the actual acid that's contained in the leaves can transfer. So this way, at least, we're just making sure you don't go home with it.
No, right. Well, I'd prefer not to, frankly. And when you say, the rash, it's quite serious, is it?
It can be, and it really depends on the individual.
You see, automatically I'm feeling quite itchy.
Yeah, it's funny. It's psychology, isn't it?
Before I can begin to have second thoughts, Adam gets me started with the pruning.
We've got these runners coming out.
Yeah.
And it's just a case of hitting that back here before it goes any further.
How do you end up here?
I'd never been, and I was always attracted to the idea of moving over and having a look. And I really fell in love with the place.
Yeah.
And so I returned to England for a short while, but decided this is where I wanted to be.
Yes, but what a special place in Ireland to be.
It is, I'm very lucky.
Seems the castle has worked its magic on Adam as well. Join me again back at Blarney later when I'll be hoping for the gift of the gab myself. Like I don't have it already. From one tourist attraction to another, this one is a place very close to my heart. A place I went to many times as a child and where I found one of my first jobs. Barry's Amusements. Located in Northern Ireland in the seaside town of Portrush, people come here from all over for a good old bucket and spade holiday. And no trip would be complete without a visit to the largest theme park in Ireland.
I could feel the tummy turning up there a couple of times.
It was founded in 1925 by Frank Treffelli. At the time, Treffelli was considered too foreign a name, and it just happened that the first delivery lorry to the park had the name Bar on it. So, Barry's was chosen. Early thrill seekers could enjoy gallopers, swing boats, a dodgem track, skittles, and a Ferris wheel. There's a bit more to do now. And Barry's is currently run by Frank Treffelli's two daughters, Christina and Lisa.
We love this place. It's got so much history and it means a lot to us. You get a lot of families coming in here saying, I remember when I was young, used to go on the hobby horses or on the cyclone, and now I'm taking my grandkids and they're enjoying it.
Oh, dear bless.
I used to work at the park myself, skillfully manning the Big Dipper and wearing one of the famous green jackets with some pride. But it's not me that's a vital part of Barry's heritage. That accolade goes to a man who was there long before I joined and is still there now, Colm Quinn.
Hey, look after your mommies now.
Colm is now in his 60th year of working at the park.
Doing very well. Oh, don't ask me about Jimmy. Jimmy is a clown when he was here. Jimmy, if you had it in the morning there, if you had to say to Jimmy, sing us a song, Jimmy. Jimmy's old favourite, Danny Boy, got a bash.
I wouldn't call it a bash, Colm. Colm's day starts at 6 a.m. when he leaves his house and walks down to Barry's to open up for business.
I love doing it in the morning, you know. Coming in and looking round, being just make sure that we're ready for opening. I think this is the best part of the day for me. It's a routine you get used to, and now I could nearly do it with my eyes closed. I don't think I could work anywhere else. No matter, even if I was offered a job at £2,000 or £3,000 a week, I would rather come and work here.
By 12:30, the doors are open and the fun begins. And as usual, Colm's in full swing.
Well, all right now, you're doing well now. Look after your mommies and daddies now. I operate the hobby horses here from 1964 until the present day. And it's the best ride at Barry's. I know we've some good ones, but to me, the hobby horses will always be number one.
Very, very pleased.
Over the years, Colm has developed more than a working relationship with Lisa and Christina and has firmly instilled his name into Barry's history.
He always talks and has fun with customers. He really is. He's a lovely guy. You'll never get anybody like him.
I'm hoping to be here for, well, a few years yet. As I said, I'm only 77 now. I'm still a young man, and I'll do my best to stay here for another 77 years at least.
It's great to see my adolescent stomping grounds still going strong after all these years, and hopefully many more to come.
So join me after the break when we'll have more legendary places to show you.
The Department of Irish Folklore at University College Dublin has over 100,000 myths and tales on record, the largest collection of its kind in the world. We Irish are a nation of storytellers, and there's nothing we like more than legend and lore.
There's no more legendary place than Blarney Castle. And having come through its poison garden unscathed, it's time to meet up with Paul, who's going to fill me in on what it's like to work here.
So what brings you in every day?
I think the best thing about working here is the kind of banter that you can have with the people that come visit here. I'm quite a big sports fan, so, you know, when I see the Americans with the jerseys on, or even, you know, someone comes with a soccer jersey, that's why I quite like, you know, bringing that up and having a chat with them and finding out where they're from.
I would say a lot of the tourists that come here, though, and certainly a lot of the people in Ireland, they've got the gift of the gab already. I mean, but it's something that people just go for.
I think it's the mystical idea that's involved with it. I think that's what draws people.
Well, I'd say you've kissed it a few times yourself. How many times have you been at it?
Quite a few times. I mean, when you're at the top of the castle...
So many times it's becoming worrying, or just...
Well, we do have a close bond, me and the stone, at this point. Well, you just get, you know, you'll get asked to do demonstrations and things like that, so quite a lot. We get a lot of unusual requests as well here.
Oh, yeah?
Anything, an ironing board.
An ironing board?
An ironing board, but I wasn't here for that now. I was told about that.
What's the logic behind an ironing board?
I really don't know. As I say, they're strange requests.
Do you ever get a husband that'll bring his wife here and say, listen, it worked too much, can you reverse it?
Well, normally if a husband brings a wife here, they're asking any chance you let her go. But, yeah, oh yeah, you know, if we can reverse it, that's a popular one as well.
Great. Well, I better go up and see if I can reverse myself here.
I've heard enough. It's time for me to head up to the very top of the castle to find the stone and also to meet Dennis. He's got the important job of tipping people over so they can kiss with confidence. Once upon a time, visitors had to be held by the ankles and lowered head first over the battlements. Today, people are a bit more cautious. Now you have to lean backwards, holding on to an iron railing from the parapet walk. And if you manage that, then you'll never be lost for words again.
Hello, Dennis.
Pleased to meet you.
How are you?
Very good.
You're the keeper of the stone, yes?
Yes, indeed, my friend.
So how many people do you tip over here in a day?
It varies, but at least about 700 a day.
700 a day?
Yes.
At over 100 feet, it's a long way down. But if Dennis can manage 700 a day, I think he'll be fine with one more. Here goes.
Sit down with your back to the wall now and lean back.
I've still a lot of things to achieve in my life, Dennis. You know.
Well, and this is one more. And lean back. And
I haven't played Hamlet yet.
Raise your hands and hold the bars, please. Head back.
Right.
Away down. Let your body drift from me, please. Forward.
Oh.
Kiss now. Stay. Easy. Up into my hand again. Easy.
Oh. That's fantastic.
Enjoy your afternoon, my friend.
That's great. So, you're happy for me to have a go?
Of course you are. I look after you.
Good. So, who's first?
Yeah, Amy.
Come on, Amy. Just ease yourself down. Further down, there you are. Kiss. Careful coming back up. I've got you. How's that?
That's good.
I am giving up acting. And watch yourself coming back up. Did you hurt your nose?
No.
You okay?
Yeah.
Oh, she hit it. Right, come back.
Oh, no.
Just ease yourself over, And there you are. Come on, we're almost there. You're grand. Well done.
I'm Robert from Houston.
I'm Jimmy from Korea. Nice to see you.
All right.
Up. Good.
Hallelujah. I'm alive. That is a long way down.
Hello there.
Hello.
I'm Jimmy. Welcome to the Blarney Stone. Over you go. Kiss. Careful coming back up. Done it. How was that?
It was great.
Yeah, it was pretty good for me too. Loving it. Best fun I've had in a while, actually. Tens of thousands of people are drawn here every year, and it's so easy to see why. I'm sure the legend of Blarney Castle will endure for generations to come. Now, you can't go into an Irish bar, whether it's in Dublin, London or New York, without enjoying a good old traditional soundtrack. I've always loved it. Irish music can be traced back thousands of years, but the sound as we know it dates from around the 1700s. With flutes, whistles and fiddles, it's designed for ballads and also for dancing. But it's not just city centre hostelries where your toes just can't help tapping. This is the east coast of Ireland and the town of Carlingford, home to professional musicians Zoe Conway and John McIntyre, and their two children, Owen and Fiona.
We were together for 4 or 5 years before we got married, and then it wasn't until after we got married that we kind of suddenly realised that we could actually play together.
Yeah.
Ready?
And now the couple have two little musical prodigies to follow in their footsteps.
They keep us busy, and they're great crack, and they're mad into the music. And when we were expecting Owen, I was saying to John, you know, our child might not be musical. But as it turns out, they both really love music. So hopefully they'll keep that up.
So we go for a take?
Yep.
The couple have seen their fair share of fame touring the world, performing for presidents and royalty, and recording with famous artists.
We've done a whole range of all different types of music. Like I've toured with Riverdance for many years as the fiddle player, and played classical with orchestras and as a soloist with orchestras, and I've played in rock and roll bands and with famous people like Lou Reed and Nick Cave and all kinds of amazing things.
Now they've come back to their roots and are settling down to make music together and a life at home with their children.
Well done.
We're very fortunate. We do have a lot of work, and we get to work with wonderful people that we have huge respect for.
One such person is fiddle maker and friend Jim McKillop. With an important concert this evening, Zoe is off to see Jim for a little repair work.
Yeah, Jim's a great player. He plays fiddle as well, very virtuoso and really well known all over Ireland and abroad as a kind of a flamboyant player. Hey, Jim.
Jim is an internationally renowned craftsman and has studied fiddle making in England and Italy. His instruments are highly sought after, being used by top musicians around the world. So for Zoe, having such an expert only 10 minutes drive away is a real bonus.
Quite rusty there. There's nothing obvious wrong with it that I can see, you know. But we'll check it over.
Jim has himself been playing since he was 26, and by the time he was 30 had won the 3 most prestigious competitions in Ireland without any formal tuition.
When I come here, I often find that I'll just be dropping in an instrument or picking up something, but Jim's like, "Oh, Zoe, I would love you to play this new fiddle that I've just finished." So we end up staying for hours, like sometimes 8 hours. He just can't leave sometimes. So.
Now Jim's skilled hands has Zoe's fiddle sounding as good as new. Throughout the summer, Zoe and John play a season of concerts in Carlingford, especially for the local community.
Beautiful, well done.
This evening, it's a full house, and with music this good, you can be sure it will go down a storm.
Everybody deserves to hear this music. It's, you know, it belongs to us all, and it's fantastic of Zoe and John to share it with us. I think it's brilliant.
I'm a big fan of Zoe Conway. I saw her on television a couple of years ago, and of course her husband John on the guitar is a great contrast.
It brings the arts and crafts and, you know, everything together, the heritage. I think it's marvellous for the community, yes.
We're very lucky. Somebody was saying to me there, if you, what does it say? I forget. If you turn your obsession into your profession, you'll never work again.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's been an exciting journey through childhood memories, history, and music. A few of the things that make Ireland such an enchanting place, but we've only just scratched the surface. So,
join me next time for more tales from the Emerald Isle.
You could win a fantastic week-long trip for 4 to the Castle Leslie Estate in County Monaghan, Ireland, courtesy of Emerald Experiences. Children can enjoy pony rides at the Saddle Club, and there's a complimentary spa treatment for the adults. Breakfast and dinner are included, as is car hire for the week and £2,000 spending money. For your chance to win, just answer the following question correctly. Who famously created the Irish dance show Lord of the Dance? A. Michael McIntyre, B. Michael Douglas, C. Michael Flatley. Call 090 4959 6789. Calls cost no more than £1 and 3 pence from BT landlines. Other networks may be higher and mobiles considerably more. Or text A, B or C to 83000. Texts cost £1 plus 1 standard network rate message. You can also enter for free via the website. Entrants must be 18 or over. Entries made after lines close at 5 p.m. on the 16th of April will not be counted but may still be charged.
Well, tonight, in a small town suspicious of each other, just what protection can the police offer a man in the frame for murder when the evidence doesn't stack up? Not much, it seems, in Broadchurch at 9. After Kirsty wants words with Tyrone, is the scheming really over? In Coronation Street next.